Hi, welcome to another edition of WCM Supplier Showcase. I'm Ben Quiggle, editor of Woodall's Campground magazine, and my guests today are, both of these people might be pretty familiar, but I know Dee Witting's been around for a while, executive director of the Carolinas Association of RV Parks and Campgrounds, and then Bobby Sorden is here too, who is the new chief marketing officer for At My Community. And he also has another business, Supplier Spot. So
that's right.
He's pretty well versed in the industry, I guess. And we're here. We just wanted to talk a little bit about the Carolinas conferences coming up here this coming weekend, and then just a little bit about the app that people are going to be using at the show. So Bobby, just explain a little bit about that, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I reached out to Dee. Thank you again for that introduction. As you know, I'm working with Rose and Joe now with At My Community, two great people that started this business 7.5 years ago. Brought me on to help market it and see if we get the business to grow, which we're already starting to do so. And some of my big marketing efforts is actually getting the app into the hands of people so they can see how easy it is to actually use and maneuver through. So when we were signed up for Dee's show, that CARVC show, I reached out to Dee and said, hey, Dee, what do you think about me building the app for the conference so people who are coming to the conference or even before the conference can see what's going on, can get the agenda, can see the speakers, the suppliers that'll be there, and just a bunch of information right in the palm of their hands. So that was the goal behind it. So Dee jumped on board and was like, yeah, let's do this. And I know it kind of threw a little bit of a wrench into the planning process with her and some of the other colleagues that she's working with, but now it's working out great and it's really come together. So I'm excited to show a little bit of it later on the call. So
Yeah. And I guess, maybe we should start a little bit about just what the conference is too, for people maybe who are going for the first time. I guess, Dee, how many years has the association been hosting a conference?
Well, that's started way before me. I came on in 2016. I'd say from when it was 1999 was when we became the Carolinas. So I believe they started having them way back then.
Yeah, I think you celebrated your 25th one
last year.
Last year. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And I mean, I've been to the conference a couple times. It's always a great time. A lot of great people from the Carolinas region and even other states. The last couple of years you've had great expo attendance as well, and it sounds like you guys are going to have another great vendor turnout for this show too.
Yes, we were limited this year to 50 booths, and those sold out 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
We probably could have sold another 10, 15. But unfortunately, there was an error made by the hotel with the trade show space. So we're hoping that next year we can be back to the bigger expo area to allow as many vendors as we can. And this year we have 2 park models. We're really excited about that.
Yeah.
Green River Cabins and Chariot Eagle are both bringing park models. Hopefully we'll have a beautiful Myrtle Beach day so they can get outside and see those park models.
I mean the conference, the hotel is just gorgeous, and they have a nice pool there. It's a gorgeous area right on the beach. Maybe you should have had some of the booths on the beach.
Well, the weather is looking good, so we're blessed with that. And they just did a total remodel of that entire hotel after COVID. So yes, it's a beautiful location in Myrtle Beach, and then they added a huge Black Drum Brewery with a short distance from the hotel.
I imagine this year they'll definitely be probably talking about the North Carolina stuff, the flooding and stuff from the hurricane over last fall. I guess how are people recovering from that? I guess
we were actually able to scholarship 5 campground members that suffered a lot of damage. We wanted them to come, and David Basler from Ojai is actually going to be moderating a panel discussion on Sunday with these people, and how Ojai and CARVC have worked together, not only to help the Hurricane Helene campgrounds that had issues, but we also had to resolve a pedestal issue in North Carolina. So they're going to have firsthand accounts of what's happened and how they're progressing at this time. I know it's been difficult for them, but we'll get a personal up to date as to what's going on now. We
Yeah.
were able to get several grants were awarded through the Ojai Foundation. The Airstream Club came together. We were able to get grants from them. So some of them have received monies from within the industry at this time.
Okay. Yeah. I think one of the great things about this industry is how, everyone, helps each other out. So we're seeing that in California too with the wildfire situation. So that's just great to see. So I guess, and, one of the exciting things about the conference is the app that you had talked about, Bobby. I guess that's going to help keep everything organized for people who attend.
Yeah, that's very true, Ben. And the great thing about it too is I'm actually bringing it up here right now. Hopefully, you guys can see your screen. Can you see the app on there right now?
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
So this is actually the app that I had the honor of building, and I'm really glad I had the chance to build this. So again, Dee, thank you for being on board with us. I actually built the app for the Louisiana conference that we had last week too. So really good starting point for me. But it was good for me for being part of this community now, or being part of Joe and Rose's business at my community. Was I actually got in and being able to get in there and figure out how the app's done.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really helpful for me now when I'm out there talking with parks and resorts and staff members. So whenever the app is going, looks like it just went to my mirroring screen. Of course, this is how it happens when you try to utilize the technology to mirror. So let me hide this real quick and then go back here and bring this back up. So if you're not touching the screen on your phone, it goes and shuts off. So we got to make sure it comes back on. So that's the great thing about technology, right?
Yeah, you gotta love technology. It always works when you need it to work. So
yeah, I get back on. Yeah, I'm just not touching my phone over here. So my phone's like, hey, I want to go into shutdown mode before the battery dies. So, but yeah, like I said, it really helped me get in there. So as you mentioned, it's very organized. What's really cool is we have at the top there the scrolling icons where the people that are actually I'm going to actually reset this real quick because it's ever since it came back on, the connection from my device to my mirroring. So I'm actually mirroring it onto this laptop. So I'm going to disconnect this real quick and get it to come back on. So that way it's moving a little bit quicker. So there it goes. There it goes. Yep. Just got to make sure it's all mirroring. So what's really cool is you see at the very top there, as I mentioned, you have the scrolling, and those are the two host sponsors. So we made sure that Influence Digital and Utility Supply Group both got their recognition because they're host sponsors for the show. But one of the main things that I think the attendees will use the most here is the agenda. So when you click on agenda, here's the entire agenda throughout the entire conference that I put together. And if you notice on the left there, there's stars. So when people are looking through the agenda, if they find something they want to go to, like for example, Saturday, Dee is having the RV Technical Institute training, which is actually being held at the Ocean Lakes. That's the right one. Yeah. Ocean Lakes
Family
campground. So you click on it, and whenever you click on that agenda, you can see it brings up a picture from Ocean Lakes. You can actually click add favorite, and that'll put it into your own agenda on your phone. So you can start creating your list of what you want to go and see throughout the conference. You can see there's also a map button. So it'll take you over to Google to show you where it is on the map. You can click register, and it'll take you right over to the link that's on Dee's website to register. You can see that got registration info too. So like Ocean Lake sent us over some information about what to expect. So I just put that file in there for people to read through. So basically it's just making everything right in the palm of your hands. And you can see there also that there's an evaluation button. So people can click on that evaluation button after the training to give Dee and the rest of the staff a little bit of feedback about what they thought of the event. So that's just a really cool way.
Yeah, and Ocean Lakes is a beautiful campground. And the RV Technical Institute thing is going to be really interesting, I guess. Dee, is that going to be like park owners in that session, or do you have other people coming just to take part in that?
We have some coming from that are not coming for the entire conference.
Yeah.
But what we this week actually at Ocean Lake starting on Monday and running through Friday is a level 1 training. So these 9 people will actually be RVTI level 1 trained. They'll be certified once they
Wow.
leave. So that's actually going on as we speak. And then the Saturday session is more of a 1 day kind of hands-on, more of a customer service. These people won't be certified, but it'll give them an insight into what they possibly could do if they go into, to become certified. You can do it online also. So yeah, we're excited about that. We're going to have there'll be an RV right there on site that they can, see how things are done and everything.
Okay. All right.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Awesome. Keep going,
Yeah.
Bob.
Sure, I will do. Yeah, and as you can see here, I got some maps on here as well. So, for example, the trade show map. Dee sent me over this. She got this from the hotel, so you can see the whole list of the suppliers. You can see the rooms there on the left, so it tells you exactly where everybody is and what booth they're in.
Wow.
So that's a really cool piece of having a map there. We also have the hotel map because, as you mentioned, it's a really beautiful location. So that gives you a little bit more of actually the hotel and like in reference to where the Coastal Grill is, because there's a lot of events that'll be happening over there in the Coastal Grill in the lobby area. And then we actually have the grounds map too. So it shows you an aerial of the grounds map of where the hotel sits versus where the, like as Dee mentioned, the Black Drum Brewery. What's really cool about this too is it's searchable. So at the top there, if you just type in Black Drum Brewery, I started typing in black and you see Black Drum Brewery showed up. I tap on it and it shows you exactly a path right from the hotel to the Black Drum Brewery. So this is one of the cool features about this is just making it very, very easy for everybody to know what's going on, where they are. One of the big things I know Dee really wanted us to promote was all the sponsors for it. And I'm not going to go through every single button on the app. I'm just going to do a few of them so you can see. But you can see we got some sponsors here. Like we have At My Community, we're the conference app sponsor. Staylist there, they're doing what's called the Gridiron Party for the Super Bowl because this is over Super Bowl weekend, which I'm really excited about to be watching the Super Bowl there with Dee and whoever else, everybody else that's going to be there. But one thing that we really wanted to make sure that we promoted with these sponsors was I actually had their logos created into what's called SVG files. So now their logos are actually showing up there on the app. So they get a little bit more recognition of rather than just like a regular icon, a generic icon. We actually have their logos on there. So it gives them a little bit more publicity. So people who want to be sponsors in the future, they'll know that they're going to get a little bit more promotion with having their actual logos and everything on there as part of the app. So just another great way to enhance the sponsorship piece of things because Dee knows that we all know that sponsorships really help out with the conference and especially for all the funding of everything.
We had a record-breaking 29 sponsors. That's huge.
Yeah.
Very.
And they're all located right in this little button area. So you can see they have the platinum, you have the show sponsors, which you already mentioned earlier, and the platinum, the gold, the bronze, silver. Not bronze, but silver. Then the great thing too is we also have just all of the suppliers listed. So every single supplier that's going to have a booth is within this area. So you can see who's listed here. And then whenever you click on it, like for example, say you talk to somebody at a booth and a week later after the show, you're like, gosh, I can't remember the exact name. Let me look at the list of them. It's like, oh, that's right. It was Peak Energy I was talking to, giving them a little shout out here. You tap on it, it has a website and it has their email address to the person who was at the show. So this can all be looked at after the show as well. So it's not like anything goes away. The only thing that does go away is the agenda schedule. So as the time ends, it falls off the schedule just so it keeps moving everything up so you're not still scrolling through past events. So.
Yeah. And I mean, it looks great. Is this something that helps cut down on how much you have to print, Dee?
Oh, it has been. It has. First of all, my conference program went from 20 pages to 4 pages. And because we had promised some things, not knowing the app was coming, we had promised some of the sponsors certain things that they would get.
Yeah.
So right there, the time, the quantity, the money of printing. It's just amazing the time that it's cut down. My time printing all of this, the paper, the cost, and the convenience of these people to have this. I can't say enough about it.
And here's a good example, Ben. So they're having their board voting for the new board members that are going to be coming on this year. So Dee just sent me over the applications that the board members filled out. So if you look under on the home screen there, we have what's called the board business meeting icon there towards the bottom. Right here, you click on the 2025 board nominees, and right here are their names. And you can actually just click right on the top one there, click on Alicia, and click right there and see her submit her application. So rather than printing them out to every single person that's coming to the board meeting, they just look at it right on their phone, or if they have a tablet, they can look at it on a tablet as well, and look at who's coming or who the board members are. And then Dee's going to pass out a ballot though to them, so they can just vote for them on the ballot. We could do voting on the app as well too, but since this is just new right now, we're not going to do that this year, but maybe we'll do it next year. But then Dee has all of her documents on here as well. So she has the agenda, the 2024 minutes. So everything is in the app itself. So like Dee said, saved her on printing, saves her on costs, and everything's always on the app. So just another great way of doing things.
I mean, I think, we've all been to conferences where they're starting to do more of this stuff. I know that the KOA conference has their own app. The Ojai's had their own app for a few years now that they do. So it's pretty nice. And I think more people are getting used to doing it when they go to conferences too.
Exactly. So one of the great things that Dee's going to let us do too is we're going to have our big 32-inch kiosk at the registration table. And the kiosk is basically like a 32-inch phone. So we'll actually have the app loaded on the kiosk. So when people come to register, they can actually click on it like I'm clicking right now on my phone, right on this big kiosk, and see all this. And then we're also going to have the QR code there where they scan and actually download the app to their phone. Hopefully after this meeting though, or after this call, people will be like, oh, I need to go download the app. And we'll tell them how to do that towards the end. But you can see here, I clicked on speakers. So these are all the people that'll be doing some sessions and speaking. So if you want to, and Dee already mentioned him earlier, so I'll just bring up David Basler with Ojai. So right there, I just put his profile picture in there. It's got a little bio about him. And also if people are interested, they can click right there on LinkedIn to go over and see his LinkedIn profile if they want to connect with him. So just trying to make it as convenient and as easy as possible for all the attendees to find everything in one location.
Yeah, definitely. So, well, that's exciting. So you guys must be pretty, Bobby, are you going to be doing any trivia stuff while you're there?
I am. I'm excited for it. I actually have a session right before the trade show floor opens. So it's going to be like during lunch. And Dee says that she's getting some gift cards for the winning teams. So we've got, I believe you said $25 gift cards, Dee. Is that right?
First, we're going to have first and second place teams.
Exactly.
We got some gift cards. And Bobby was nice enough to reach out to our sponsors, and they were the ones that submitted the questions.
Yep.
So as a sponsor, you get an extra bonus now. You get to be highlighted in the trivia game. So we're going to do the trivia game as we're eating our box lunches and right before they go into the expo hall.
Yep.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah,
it's pretty cool. So they'll get some promotions. So like, for example, I always like to use Heidi with a utility supply group. She sends me over a question. The very first part of the question says utility supply group, and then I read the question. So it's another promotional piece. It's just really letting our sponsors or letting Dee sponsors know out there that she really appreciates them, that we know they put in some extra funds there to make this conference a great success.
Yeah. Well, it all sounds exciting. It sounds like you guys are going to have a blast down there in Myrtle Beach.
We are, yeah, especially the Super Bowl too. So we're doing something here. Me and Tyler Watts with Broad River Campground. We're going to be coordinating what we call the 50-50 Super Bowl squares. And if people are familiar with squares, you usually just buy a square, and then they draw the cards to get the points, and you tally up. You kind of do a little diagram thing to figure out which points are. Whoever's name is in that square wins the money for that quarter. So we're doing 50-50, where 50 will go to CARVC and the other 50 will go to the winner. So another great way to just try to generate some funds and money for CARVC and those who are affected and whatever else they want to use the funding for. So we got a lot of fun stuff that I'm real excited about for this event. We got the live auction going on, Dee, right? So and Tyler Watts is actually stepping up to the mic to be our auctioneer, and At My Community, Wild Energy, and Camp Spot are all hosting an open bar to a certain limit, of course. That way people can enjoy drinks while they're bidding on auction items. So the three of us, so the reason why we went with those three is all three of us are integrated together. So it's a great way for the three of us to promote our businesses, At My Community, Camp Spot, and Wild Energy. So got a lot of cool stuff going on.
Yeah, sounds like it. So I'm disappointed I'm not going to be down there this year, but I'm sure you guys will manage without me. So
yeah, it's going to be difficult, Ben. We're all going to be moping around.
I know.
Have half smiles because you're not there, but I think we'll get by.
I'm going to be moping around because my Buffalo Bills aren't in the Super Bowl.
I know.
So I know Sunday's going to be rough, but
Well, Ben, speaking on that real quick, I just got to say this. I saw a brilliant post the other day where a guy said, hey, NFL, instead of doing a Pro Bowl, why don't you have the losers of the NFC and AFC championships play together that weekend before the Super Bowl. That's like really the Super Bowl people wanted to see anyways, right? So I was like, yeah, that's kind of a brilliant idea, but that's just my two
Something
cents out there.
like that. But Dee, is there any way for people? People can still register for the conference, right?
Yes, they can register online. The hotel block is you can no longer do it online, but if you reach
Okay.
out to me, that we got a few rooms that they're still eligible. And right now, we've got over 60 businesses with over 120 representatives that are going to be there. So we have prospective buyers. We have 50, we're up to 54, 55 campgrounds at this time. So yes, the attendance is we're about dead even where we were last year, and we're hoping that some more from the Myrtle Beach that we'll get some more before we officially kick off on Sunday.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's exciting. How and where can people register for the
They can
conference?
go to campingcarolinas.com and there we have a tab, CARVC Conference, and they can go right on there and register. And obviously, if they have any issues, give me a call. And then once they register, they can reach out to me and we can, I think, get them a room block because once that the room block is much cheaper, like half of what the normal price is. They give us a good deal there.
Okay.
And on the app too, Ben, there's a contacts button and that has Dee's email and phone number. So if people want to download the app, and to download the app, they just go to whatever app store they're in, Google Play or Apple Store, and just type in Camping Carolina and then look for the Camping Carolina logo and it'll be in there. So
Okay. And if people are interested in learning more about the app, where would they go?
they can just go to appmycommunity.com. So it's appmycommunity.com. And of course, if they download the app for the Carolina, we're in there as one of the sponsors too, and all the contact info is there. So we'd be happy to show them a demo because the app that they're actually going to be using at this conference is the same type of app that we could help build for their RV park resort to make it easier to communicate with their guests and just a much better guest experience with activities and scavenger hunts and all kinds of cool, fun stuff.
All right. Well, thank you, Dee and Bobby, for coming on.
Thank you.
And
Thanks both of you. We really appreciate the promotion and thank you.
no problem.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I love learning more about the conferences. So I hope you guys have fun in Myrtle Beach. And thanks again for coming on. And we'll see everyone next time.
Thank you.